The new Pokemon Go season brings new field research and rewards, and in this video I'm going to go through which research tasks you can do at any level to get the best Pokemon. Luckily they are mostly quick and easy to do. I'll also go through the ones you can skip to save yourself some time and effort. So starting with the throwing tasks, which are worth doing. Firstly, we have the 5 curveball throws in a row task, and it will get you either of these items. This is generally a lower priority task, but it is usually a quick one to do, so it could be worth doing if you need the items or the Stardust. Next we have the make 5 nice throws task, and that will get you either of these items or an encounter with either of the Diglett or Sudowoodo. Again, this is an easy task to do, but the Pokemon you can get don't really have any meta relevance. The make 10 nice throws task will get you either Plusle or Minun, both of which can be shiny but they don't have any meta relevance, so this one you can pretty much just skip unless you need either of them for the dex or if you're shiny hunting them. The make 3 nice throws in a row task and make 2 nice curveballs in a row will give you these items. These tasks aren't really worth doing unless you need the items specifically. The make 3 great throws task, however, will get you either of these items or encounters with Omanyte, Kabuto, Clamperl, Elgyem or Binacle. None of these Pokemon really have any meta relevance, but there are some reasons to hunt them. Omanyte and Kabuto are rare fossil Pokemon that are mostly only seen during Adventure Week, and you do need them for parts of the Let's Go Meltan special research if you haven't completed it yet. Also, Clamperl is a perma boosted Pokemon, meaning that instead of the 1 in 512 base shiny rates that most Pokemon have, it has a 1 in 64 shiny rate, meaning that you do have a pretty good chance at getting this shiny compared to others. When it comes to the make 5 great throws task, you could get an encounter with either Slakoth or Makuhita. Slakoth doesn't have a lot of meta relevance itself, but its evolution Vigoroth is actually decent in Go Battle League, where it is currently ranked 30 in the Great League with 15-15 IVs. And Vigoroth's evolution Slacking doesn't have much meta relevance, but it is a decent gym defender, so it could be worth going after for that as well. Generally, Slakoth is quite rare out of very specific events, so this could be a good opportunity to get one. And Makuhita has some meta relevance as well, because Hariyama is a pretty strong budget fighting type attacker, so this task is generally quite a decent one to do. The tasks that require you to make 3 great throws in a row might be worth doing depending on your ability to hit consistent great throws. The rewards can be either of these items or encounters with Anorith or Lileep. If the reward is Rare Candy, I would say it is worth it because Rare Candy is a very valuable item that you can turn into any Pokemon's candy. This is useful in particular for Origin, Palkia and Dialga's adventure effects. If the reward is an encounter, it's only really worth doing if you're hunting the shinies or you need them for special research like the Let's Go Meltan research. The make 3 great curveball throw tasks I would say is only worth doing for the Stardust or Rare Candy rewards. This is another low priority task that you can pretty much just skip. The make 5 great curveball throws is the best task to do if you are looking for Omanyte or Kabuto for the Pokedex, the Let's Go Meltan research, or if you're shiny hunting them, because this task does only reward either of these encounters. The make 3 great curveball throws in a row will reward one of these items, and it can be a tricky one to do, but it could be worth it for the 3 Rare Candy in particular if it does happen to give that. There is a task that requires you to make 5 great curveball throws in a row, which can be pretty tricky to do, but it does reward Spinder, which is exclusive to field research, and it has boosted shiny rates of 1 in 64. It doesn't have any meta relevance though. The make an excellent throw task rewards these items, so really it can be skipped unless you need the items specifically. But the make 2 excellent throws task is worth doing despite it being a bit tricky, because it does give you a guaranteed encounter with Gible. Gible is generally a pretty rare Pokemon, and its evolution Garchomp is a really good Pokemon in Pokemon Go for a few reasons. Mega Garchomp is the second best dragon type raid attacker in the game, and it's the second best ground type attacker, so really a great Pokemon to power up for raid attacking. In Go Battle League, Garchomp is also relevant where it is ranked 42 in the Master League, so really trying to get a Hundo Garchomp is ideal because it does have 3 ways of being useful. It does want Legacy move Earth Power to be at its best as a ground type attacker and in the Master League, so bear that in mind. I would consider this task a high priority task. One of the more difficult tasks is the make 3 excellent throws in a row task, but the rewards are actually pretty good. You can get an encounter with either Larvitar, Beldum or Gible, which do evolve into some of the best Pokemon in the game. Firstly, for Larvitar, Mega Tyranitar is the best Dark type attacker in the game and one of the best Rock type attackers, and Tyranitar itself is rank 101 in the Master League. Beldum's evolution Metagross is the 3rd best Steel type attacker and the 2nd best in its shadow form, and it is second only to Duskmane Necrozma. It will also have a Mega in the future which will be even stronger than its shadow form. Metagross is also ranked 57 in the Master League, and as I mentioned previously for Gible, Garchomp is a really great Pokemon Pokemon to have for many reasons. This is a high priority task. Next we have exploring tasks, which ones are actually worth doing. So for hatching an egg, you can get an encounter with these Pokemon. Scyther does have relevance because Mega Scizor is a top bug type attacker, and both Scyther and Nincada do have perma boosted shiny rates. Other than that, Trubbish does give boosted Stardust, so it is a pretty useful catch, and also Darmanitan is a strong budget fire type attacker, and the candy might be worth getting for it for powering up a Shadow Darmanitan, which is one of the best fire type attackers in the game. For hatching 2 eggs, you can get either of these Pokemon. Sneasel's evolution Weavile is a decent budget ice type attacker and one of the best in its shadow form. Galarian Darumaka is another good reward because Galarian Darmanitan is one of the best ice type raid attackers, and it will be the best when it gets access to its Zen mode. Also, this is a great task for shiny hunters to do because all possible encounters have perma boosted shiny rates of 1 in 64. I would say this is quite a high priority task, but it can be a bit difficult to do, especially if you're just using your infinite incubator, but there are some good rewards for doing this task. Exploring 2 kilometers will get you an encounter with Pawmi, and its evolution Pawmot is a decent budget electric type attacker, but overall it isn't much of a priority to go after this task unless you really don't have any other electric type raid attackers. The spinning 3 Pokestop or gyms task can be very easy depending on where you play. Ralts is the standout encounter here, with Mega Gardevoir being the best fairy type raid attacker in the game, and Gallade will get a Mega in the future that will be a top 10 psychic and fighting type attacker. Gallade is also ranked 76 in the Great League with 0, 15, 15 IVs, and it's ranked 90 in the Ultra League with 0, 12, 15 IVs. Aron is also a possible encounter from this task, and Mega Aggron is a top 10 steel type attacker, but in particular because of the Routes reward, I would recommend this as a high priority task. For spinning 5 Pokestops or gyms, you will get one of these Pokemon. These don't have any meta relevance, so this one can actually be skipped, but depending on where you play, this could be quick and easy to do, so you might want to just do it anyway. The take a snapshot of a wild Pokemon will get you an encounter with either Trapinch, Croagunk, or Cottony. None of these Pokemon have any particular meta relevance, so you can skip this one. You can also get a task for taking a snapshot of 3 different water type Pokemon, and this will get you an encounter with either Chinchou or Surskit. Surskit has no meta relevance, but Chinchou is worth going after because Lantern is a strong Pokemon in Go Battle League, where it is currently ranked 31 in the Great League with 0, 13, 14 IVs, and it is ranked 105 in the Ultra League with 15, 15, 15 IVs. You can also get the task that is take 3 snapshots of different wild flying type Pokemon, or 1 for wild rock types, but these encounters that you do get for the rewards have no meta relevance, so these tasks can be skipped. Moving on to the buddy and friendship tasks, earn 2 candies while walking with your buddy can reward an encounter with any of these Pokemon. Out of these Pokemon, Bunnelby's evolution Diggersby is ranked 70 in the Great League with 0, 15, 13 IVs, and Jigglypuff's evolution Wigglytuff is ranked 74 in the Great League with 0, 15, 12 IVs. The earn 3 candies while walking with your buddy can get you either of the Stunfisks, and in particular Galarian Stunfisk is worth going after for Go Battle League, where it is ranked 24 in the Great League with 0, 12, 15 IVs, and it is ranked 48 in the Ultra League with 15, 15, 15 IVs. For the send 5 gifts and add a sticker task, you can get an encounter with Love Disc, which has no meta relevance, so this one can be skipped unless you're planning to send gifts anyway. The Trader Pokemon task will reward you with an Abra encounter, which isn't a bad task to do really, because Mega Alakazam is one of the best psychic type attackers and the best psychic type Mega until Mega Mewtwo releases. The AR scanning tasks are only really worth doing if the reward is a Poffin. Moving on to the Team Go Rocket tasks, defeating 3 Rocket Grunts will get you an encounter with Alolan Rattata, and purifying 3 Shadow Pokemon will get you an Onix encounter, and Steelix is ranked 40 in the Great League with 0, 14, 15 IVs, and it's ranked 35 in the Ultra League with 2, 15, 15 IVs. For the catching tasks, which ones offer the best rewards? The task that requires you to catch 5 Pokemon will reward you with Bidoof, Patrat, Bunnelby, all of which can be shiny, and also Bunnelby's evolution Diggersby is ranked 70 in the Great League with 0, 15, 13 IVs. The catch 7 Pokemon task gives you something better. Firstly, Magikarp is worth going after because Mega Gyarados is a top 10 water and dark type attacker, and Gyarados itself is ranked 29 in the Master League. Also, Wimpod's evolution Galizapod is a decent Pokemon in the Master League, where it is currently ranked 62. For catching 10 Pokemon, you get these items, and generally I would say this task is only worth doing if you're doing it for the 3 rare candies, but it is a quick one to do, especially if you are quick catching, so it might be worth doing anyway. For catching a dragon type Pokemon, you can get some pretty solid Pokemon encounters, so I would definitely recommend doing this task if you get it. Axew's evolution Haxorus is a decent dragon type attacker, and it is ranked 108 in the Master Master League, so not a bad option there. Bagon is a good encounter because Mega Salamence is one of the best dragon type attackers, and lastly for Dratini, it's definitely worth going after because Dragonite is a strong dragon type attacker in its shadow form, but where it shines the most is in PvP. It is decent in the Great League where it is ranked 89 with 315-14 IVs, although Dragonair is actually better in the Great League where it is ranked 52 with 115-15 IVs. Dragonite is ranked 104 in the Ultra League with 013-15 IVs, but in the Master League it is one of the best Pokemon, being ranked 4. This is a high priority task, so I do recommend doing this one when you get it. The Catch 5 Water or Ground type Pokemon task will reward you with either of these Pokemon, and of these, Swinub is the highlight because Mamoswine is one of the best Ice type raid attackers, and it is the best currently in its shadow form. Mamoswine is also ranked 39 in the Master League. There is also a task to catch 5 electric or flying type Pokemon, which will reward you with one of these Pokemon. Pidgey is worth going after because Mega Pidgeot is a top 10 flying type attacker, and Pidgeot itself is ranked 67 in the Great League with 014-14 IVs, and it is ranked 8 in the Ultra League with 15-15-15 IVs. Mareep and Electrike are also not bad encounters either because their evolutions Ampharos and Manectric respectively in their Mega forms are both top 10 electric type raid attackers, with Mega Manectric being the better of the two. The Catch a Ditto task can get you these rewards, but generally it is a hard task to do because Ditto is quite rare outside of certain special events. If you are looking for Ditto though, these are the current disguises that you can look out for. Catching 10 normal type Pokemon can get you Mega Pidgeot energy, and Mega Pidgeot is a top flying type attacker like I mentioned previously, so this one could be worth going after. Catching 10 grass type Pokemon can get you Mega energy for Venusaur or Sceptile. Mega Venusaur is one of the best grass type attackers, but Mega Sceptile is even better, being the best grass type attacker in the game. Venusaur is also decent in Go Battle League, being ranked 79 in the Great League with 014-11 IVs, and it's ranked 61 in the Ultra League with 115-14 IVs. Likewise, the Catching 10 fire type task can get you Mega energy for Charizard or Blaziken. Mega Blaziken is the best fighting type attacker and the second best fire type attacker, losing out only to Mega Charizard at the top. Charizard is also ranked 80 in the Ultra League with 013-15 IVs. It's definitely worth doing this task if either of the rewards are these Mega Energies. The research task that requires you to catch 10 water type Pokemon can get you Mega Energy for Blastoise or Swampert. Mega Blastoise is a top 10 water type attacker, and Blastoise is ranked 63 in the Ultra League with 012-15 IVs. Mega Swampert on the other hand is an even better water type attacker than Mega Blastoise, being the second best overall, and is a top 10 ground type attacker as well. Again, it's worth doing this task if either of these energies are the reward. Completing the Catch 7 different species of Pokemon task will get you a guaranteed encounter with Alolan Diglett, which has no meta relevance, so this one can be skipped. The Catch 15 different species of Pokemon will get you a guaranteed Clamperl encounter. This one doesn't have much meta relevance, but it is a perma boosted shiny at 1 in 64. Catching 5 weather boosted Pokemon is an easy task to do, and it can get you an encounter with either of these Pokemon or items, and in particular Poliwag is a great encounter because Poliwrath is ranked 48 in the Great League with 014-15 IVs, and it's ranked 6 in the Ultra League with 014-14 IVs. Politoed is also ranked 58 in the Ultra League with 015-14 IVs. Wingull is another decent encounter from this task because Pelipper is ranked 25 in the Great League with 012-15 IVs and ranked 23 in the Ultra League with 15-15-15 IVs. Another one to note is Snova because Mega Abomasnow is a top 10 ice type attacker, and Abomasnow itself is ranked 75 in the Ultra League with 3-15-14 IVs. The Catch 10 weather boosted Pokemon task can get you these items. This one isn't really worth doing for the rewards that you get. And the use 5 raspberries to help catch Pokemon task can get you these items and encounters. Neither Pokemon have meta relevance though, so this can be skipped as well. Moving on to the battling tasks, winning in the Go Battle League will get you an encounter with Poliwag, Marill or Croagunk, all of which have some meta relevance in Go Battle League. Poliwag is a strong Go Battle League encounter because of Poliwrath's relevance in Great League and Ultra League like I mentioned previously. Also Marill is well worth going after for Go Battle League because its evolution Azumarill is a staple in the Great League where it is currently ranked 12 with 0-15-15 IVs. And lastly, Croagunk could be worth hunting because Toxicroak is ranked 103 in the Ultra League with 0-15-12 IVs. For the win a raid task, you can get a guaranteed encounter with Sandygast, which unfortunately has no meta relevance currently, so I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to do this one, especially as it can't be shiny yet. There is also a task for winning a 3-star raid or higher, and it will get you an encounter with either Tirtouga or Archen. Both of these have no meta relevance, so only really worth going after them if you need them for the decks or if you're shiny hunting them. Winning 2 raids will get you a guaranteed encounter with Lapras, which doesn't have much meta relevance, and winning 5 raids will get you an encounter with Alolan Marowak, Alolan Exeggutor, or Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is needed for a Let's Go Meltan research, and Mega Aerodactyl is a top 10 rock type attacker, but outside of this the rewards aren't really worth the 5 raids, so I wouldn't recommend doing this one unless you're doing the raids anyway. And lastly, for the training tasks, evolving a Pokemon will reward you with an Eevee. This could be worth doing because Eevee's evolution Glaceon is a top 10 ice type attacker, Sylveon is a top 10 fairy type attacker, and Umbreon is decent in Go Battle League, being ranked 49 in the Great League with 0, 15, 15 IVs, and ranked 122 in the Ultra League with 15, 15, 15 IVs. The Power Up Pokemon 3 times task will get you either Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. This one is worth doing because all 3 have meta relevance like I mentioned earlier. Powering up a Pokemon 5 times will get you one of these rewards, being an encounter with Snivy, Tepig, or Oshawott, or Mega Energy for either of these Pokemon. Snivy is a good encounter because Serperior is ranked 27 in the Great League with 0, 10, 15 IVs, and ranked 68 in the Ultra League with 10, 14, 15 IVs. Mega Energy for Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, and Pidgeot are all worth going for if you haven't Mega Evolved one before. Mega Manectric is the best electric type Mega and a top 5 overall electric type attacker, and like I mentioned before, Mega Aggron is a top 10 steel type attacker. The Beedrill energy isn't really specifically worth going after because you most likely will have the full amount that you need to Mega Evolve Beedrill from spinning gyms because it is a rare drop from gyms. But if you don't have enough to Mega Evolve Beedrill yet, then you could do this task if it happens to be the reward. Powering up a Pokemon 7 times will get you an encounter with one of the Alolan starters, which don't really have any meta relevance, so it isn't really worth doing this one. And lastly, the Power Up Pokemon 10 times task will get you Mega Energy for Gyarados, Steelix, or Houndoom. Mega Gyarados is a top 10 Mortaring Dark type attacker. Mega Steelix is only worth going after if you don't have access to Mega Aggron yet. And lastly, Mega Houndoom could be worth it because it is a strong Dark and Fire type attacker, but note that it isn't as good as other Fire and Dark type Mega Pokemon. It's good to note that the Pokemon encounters from research do all have a 10, 10, 10 IV floor, so it's not always the best if you're trying to get a lower attack IV for perfect PvP IVs for Go Battle League. You could however do some mirror trades with low friendship level friends to try and re-roll the IVs to get a lower attack IV, or you could wait until the Pokemon is available from the wild where there is no IV floor. So with all of that said, you can get some really strong Pokemon encounters from field research, and if you want to know what are the best Pokemon to power up in Pokemon Go, then I recommend checking out this video next.